Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Monday, May 18th, about 4:29 p.m. Eastern Time. Come to tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Minor changes on the trend gauge, downgraded leaders to neutral, just some weakness across the whole, AI ecosystem today, from power generation to fiber optics to memory to semiconductors. Overall, just a lot of leaders pulling back today, and that's coupled with rising yields and strength in many of the oil and gas stocks. So just putting that yellow arrow there for now. But with that said, many are still trading above a rising 21 EMA, but some of the leaders got quite stretched, so they could see some volatility into that area. Short term, RSP, mid cap, small cap still struggling at the 21, but major averages holding. Same with the 50 and 200-day moving average. And like I said, what happened today? Strength in yields in oil. Some more rhetoric on the in the war, causing some volatility. And overall, many leaders just pulling back a little bit. New 21 over 21 list down 2.32%, 6 green, 15 red, Turbo 12 down 2.38%, 4 green, 8 red, Mag 7 down about a 0.5%, RG8 down 1.18%, S&P about flat on the day, Equate up 0.62%, Q's down about a 0.5%, Equate up 22 basis points. Dow Jones Industrial Average, one of the few green indexes, up 0.33. Mid caps down 0.14. Russell 2000 down 0.58. 60/40 stock and bond about flat. GROTECTION down 0.95%. TurboTection down 2.18%. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation. And S&P 500, nice. It did hold the AEMA again today. Still definitely seeing some more weakness into the market, but you can't really argue with this holding the AEMA. And like we said, S&P flat on the day catches that rotation as we saw some rotation in some of the value areas of the market. RSP trying to reclaim the 21 EMA today. Good sign for breadth. Really 205 is the area it needs to get over. Qs. Same thing, undercut and reclaim of the AEMA. So again, today's lows are going to be a good line in the sand moving forward. Mag 7, undercut and reclaim of the AEMA and held this 69.14 pivot. Dow Jones, some RS, and again, just fits the theme of some rotation into value safety, still below this 50,000 mark though. Mid cap, second close below the 21 EMA, Russell 2000 as well, although did try to rally back up a little bit into the close. Really want to see this get back through this 28 level, heading into the remainder of the week. ARC weakness below the 200-day moving average, FFTY back to the 21 EMA, VIX, despite some of the volatility, still red on the day, sub 18. That's a good sign. The dollar reversing again. Just keep this chart simple. If this gets through 100, that'd be a bullish look for the dollar, and if this breaks these range lows, that would be a bearish look. Gold kind of in no man's land here, continues to make lower highs. GDX, same thing there. Silver weak as well. Trying to hold the 50-day. Bitcoin, just no love whatsoever. Back below the 21 EMA, and then bonds looks continuing to break down here. TLT, very weak bounce, and then rates up again today, which is definitely putting some pressure on the market and specifically some growth. All right, percent stocks with the 5-day ticked up a little bit, 47 and 50. Main events this week is going to be Nvidia earnings on Wednesday after hours. We also have the Fed minutes that day as well. And then Friday, consumer sentiment. Pretty quiet week on the economic calendar front. Today's keys, S&P and the Qs holding above the 8 EMA. That's a good sign. Russell failing at the 8 and 21 and some rotation into value today. Costco had a nice breakout today. Could be watching the same stuff going into Tuesday. Day count consolidation 1 slash down 2, 34 days above the 8 EMA, 29 days above the 21 EMA. And sectors wise, like we've been talking, software continues to stand out, specifically cybersecurity, edge computing, cloud, energy was up today, regional banks, oil, staples, weakness, meme. essentially just high beta ETF, semiconductors, air coming out a little bit today, Bitcoin, uranium, biotech, and generative AI ETF chat. Protection today sold WGMI, DRAM, Sienna, and AEHR 1.32 RVAB, estimated balance at risk minus 5.30%. Turbotection, we sold AOI, AHR, Circle, and Cypher 1.36 RVAB, estimated balance at risk minus 3.30%. Bottom line, strength in yields and oil prices, pressure leaders again. Let's get into the charts. All right, GROTECTION. Cut Sienna, some weakness in the optics today, breaking the 21 EMA. AEHR, good depiction of some of the weakness in semiconductors, was forming a pretty textbook high tight flag. Closed very tight on Friday, and then today just down 16% below the 21 EMA. Not the prettiest day there. GROTECTION took profits in DRAM, breaking the 8 EMA. Again, some weakness in memory. I look, let's see. Seagate was down almost 7, Micron down 6, SanDisk down 5.5, Western Digital down almost 5. So weakness across that sector. And then the Neo clouds got hit hard today as well. WGMI was down 2.9%. But Iron down 5%, Cypher, which we sold in Turbo, down 6%, NBIS down 9%. Galaxy down almost 6. Let's see. APLD, is this a massive failed breakout? Down 8%. HUT was holding high and tight. Still looks good. Just down 6%. And CoreWeave, another one down 3.5%, but trying to put a hammer here off the 200-day moving average. So you can just see some weakness in leaders, some pulling back isn't necessarily not necessarily bearish, but it also just could be, some of these names might need some more time to base and settle out after some decent strong moves across the board. All right, let's take a look at the new 21 over 21 list. Rocket Lab leading the charge again today at 5%, holding high and tight. SpaceX could IPO as early as Wednesday this week, so that's something to watch for. VLO, you can see a lot of strength in the oil and gas names. A lot of these have really nice charts. FTNT, some of these cybersecurity names, just extremely, extremely strong. Continued higher after that earnings gap. Cisco, after this monster earnings gap, holding high and tight. That's pretty good action. TMV, ETF, way to express short bonds. This one looks good. Could act as a hedge as well. Datadog, another software name, high and tight, continues to trend up after this earnings gap. Starbucks, holding at the pivot, looks constructive. Twilio, super tight flag here, right below 200 Livermore. This looks pretty actionable into tomorrow. Nokia holding the 8 EMA. 14 is a good level to reclaim. This one's forming a high tight flag. Dell, relatively unscathed today, forming a really nice flag here after a strong move. Eli Lilly trying to hold the 8 EMA. Caterpillar sitting right at the 21 EMA. WGMI bounce off the 21 EMA. Marvell, some volatility, but this one just might need to form a new base. Little flag. DOCN doing nothing wrong. Flagging after this earnings gap. Would like to see this reclaim that high volume close. Micron pulling back down almost 6%, but again, this one might just need a base around here again. ENPH holding right below 53 pivot. Solars were really strong on Friday, now putting an inside day. PWR, bit of an ugly day. Again, like most of the AI ecosystem names got hit, and some of these construction power did as well. BE, same thing, but closed back above the 21 EMA. VRT, right back into the 21 EMA. NBIS, definitely should be on watch for an entry. Really nice move out of this big base and kind of first consolidation that it's forming. Turbo 12, rig, lower price, but trades a ton of volume. We added this one, just really nice, clean breakout in the oil and gas space. Crowd, another cyber name, displaying how strong this group has really came back alive. ARM, major highlight. We own this in TurboTection, closed green on the day. Definitely one of the best acting semiconductors today, because if you look at SOX, closing below the 8 EMA, but holding above the 20. And with the weakness there, ARM was green today. Frog, This one's got a really nice earnings continuation pattern here. Akamai as well, doing nothing wrong since this earnings gap. Lunar pulling back to the AEMA, one of the space names. INOD, tight day here, flag after this earnings gap. GLW, some harsh selling, but just pulling back into the 21 EMA. NVTS flagging here at the highs, still down almost 8%, but doing nothing wrong. And then AOI, we cut this, did hold the 21 EMA, but hit our stop. But still on watch. This starts to turn back up. TSCM down about almost 10%, still holding this gap lows and the 8 EMA. And then Sedge inside day in the upper end of the range after a really strong breakout on Friday. See if this can build off of that. Some other fiber optics names, right? Light down, almost 9%, but this one did hold the 10-week moving average and hasn't violated the 50-day, so that one's still one to watch. And then AXTI, another high beta optics name, breaking the AEMA down 15%. 100's a key level, which coincides with the 21 EMA as well. Just some other high beta names, MRAM down 11%. MXL, another semiconductor down 5, but this one starts to look like it's kind of forming a high type flag. Take a look at Costco breaking out of this big base, and that's the theme of the rotation into value safety. XLP was up 1.5% today. Take a look at USO. Also, this is putting pressure on growth leaders, equities. USO still hanging out at the highs here. And then meme, that ETF I mentioned, just kind of high beta ETF did put a hammer here up to 21 today, which is a good sign also. And then let's take a look at Nvidia. Big dogs got earnings on Wednesday after the bell, did bounce right off the 8 EMA. And then some other notable ETFs, IGV continuing out of this bottoming base hack, which I mentioned, cybersecurity out of this base, massive strength. CLOU, nice little setup here. SKYY as well. Got a nice little setup forming there as well. Let's see. And then just some other semis that got hit pretty hard. Credo down 10%, A-Lab down 7. So you can see, but ARM definitely standing out today. TXN's another one, high and tight, that stood out in my scans today. AMD kind of flagging here after a big move up. Intel, another one worth to watch, building kind of its first flag since this move from 40 to 120. That 21 EMA has caught up to price as well. Tesla trying to hold the 200-day moving average. If we look at some of the mag names, Amazon, pretty nice looking flag here, held above the 21 EMA. You can see kind of it's got a downtrend line here. But really what continues to be the issue is oil hanging out at the highs, yields being very strong, pretty extended on the indexes, Q's up 6, 7 weeks in a row. So all in all, kind of normal to see a little consolidation, a little pullback. And as long as the leaders aren't blowing up and pullbacks remain orderly into key levels, just might need some time, some consolidation. So that definitely is a possibility. But, just going to be taking it day by day, monitoring the action in the 21/21 list and the Turbo 12 list, and then just watching the indexes. Really, the power trend is still early. So, pullbacks tend to be viable as long as you can find a low risk spot. So again, watch the EMA, watch the 21 EMA, and then again, 7,400 and then new all-time highs. So I think tomorrow will be telling for many of the leaders and the indexes, some decent rallies into the close for a few names. So we'll see if they can build on that into tomorrow. So that is going to wrap it. As always, I'd like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com. You can reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. Thank you guys for watching and have a great night.